DTI fam, what's good, baby? My mount is breaking. I'm out here running errands. Got the suit for my guy's wedding next weekend. Got some paper towels and some other fun things. Actually, there's this one thing you guys will see me post on my story probably tomorrow, honestly. I got this new coffee that I'm going to try that I heard on the Skinny Confidential podcast. So we're going to give it a go. The founder of it was sick of feeling jittery, was sick of crashing midday, was sick of the way that the standard cup of coffee made him feel, but he was excited. He was excited about the caffeine and loved the taste of coffee. So what he wanted to do was make it even better. So we are trying tomorrow everyday dose. Everyday dose. It's 100% Arabica coffee, medium roast. It's got collagen, L-theanine, chaga, and lion's mane. Taste notes, dark chocolate, creamy, full-bodied. You guys know that I love my coffee. This is not an ad. We are not sponsored yet. But if I love this the way that people talk about it, then maybe we'll try and push something. But wanted to show you guys this because, again, I'm always looking for stuff to improve my morning routines, to enhance the way I feel. And typically that is all stuff through like physical fitness. And you guys hear me talk about habits all the time. And so that's just another extension. The morning cup of coffee to me is a time for peace, a time for grounding, a time for reflecting, visualization, a time to be productive, a time where it's just me, that cup of coffee, and honestly, like the things that I need to check off, the things that are most important to me. And so as I preach all the time about my morning routine, I don't really talk enough about why I love coffee so much. Shout out to my man, Ryan Dreyer, the CEO of Tribal Fitness, the coach that I hired for my Ironman. That man gets the mission. That man gets the view. That man gets the understanding of how I feel about coffee. What I love what he does is he creates coffee mugs for people that complete certain races throughout the year, and he'll actually have somebody hand make them. But not only that, I can talk about this publicly because he posted it, so I feel like I can. But he's currently working on a supplement for the endurance space to go inside of your coffee, which I think is freaking awesome because he enjoys that cup of coffee. He doesn't want to sacrifice that. And so what he's trying to do is enhance what that cup of coffee is doing for him, so that way he can get the nutrients, elements, vitamins, things like that inside of his coffee when he drinks it before he goes out for a big trek or a big journey in the endurance space. And so the morning cup of coffee for me, like I said, is that time for peace, relaxation, visualization, meditation. It's almost like a cup of therapy, to be completely honest, the way that I view it, approach it, and the way that I harness it. And so since we're on the topic of coffee and why it's so important to me, you guys are probably like, why the hell are you talking about it this much? One, because it's important. Two, because I think if you don't have that time in the morning, no matter what it is, some people aren't coffee lovers, but maybe it's a cup of tea. Maybe it's a cup of hot lemon water with honey in it. Maybe it's simply grabbing a cold cup of water and drinking that. But I think you need time in the morning to just like decompress and then use that thing that you can decompress with. And I'm not talking about decompress in the sense of like, oh my God, the day's so stressful. It's the end of the day. Let me have a beer. Let me have a glass of wine. I'm talking about decompress life before life gets thrown at you. And so the mornings are sacred to me. The mornings are something that I cherish. The mornings are something that I take very serious because it sets the foundation for me for my entire day. If I don't get the things done that I need to get done, they not only weigh on me, but I notice that I don't feel as energized and I don't feel as motivated to check off and show up in the other ways that I need to throughout the day and throughout the week. And so I'm excited to try this. To be completely honest, I mean, you guys, this makes 14 cups of coffee. This is $14.99. So it's essentially $1.05 every cup of coffee that I'm going to be drinking in the morning, which typically I get a Starbucks bag of coffee, or I get a Peet's bag of coffee. I don't really focus on like the quality of it. And so I'm excited to try this because it's going to hopefully enhance the way I feel. I like the packaging of it, and I'm excited to try it because it's going to be one of those things where I integrate it into my morning routine. Not as in I'm not doing this yet, but again, how can I do the things better than I've done before? And maybe buying a more premium coffee will make me feel better, will make me be more energized, will make me have more energy throughout the day to be able to tackle those things even better that I have upcoming. Because if you guys have anything that you're working towards in life, which I hope you do, I hope that you guys have something that is challenging you. I hope you guys have something where you're like, I don't know how the fuck I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do this no matter what it takes. I hope that you guys have that in life, because that's what really keeps things moving. And when you do something hard and you incorporate that in your lifestyle, it opens your mind to be able to think differently, act differently. It allows you to approach challenges outside of that in a different way. And it allows you to kind of just stay grounded within yourself to be like, these are top priority for me, and I'm going to check those off. And I don't think we as humans look at top priorities enough. And I don't think we're selfish enough in life to make our dreams, aspirations, and goals that we talk about all the time come true. And so as I'm talking to my boy before he gets married and stuff like that, he's like, well, I got to worry about transportation and logistics for this, for that. And I told him, I said, bud, for the first time in your life, be selfish. I was like, all you have to worry about is your transportation, your logistics. Don't worry about anybody else's. Don't try and plan other people's trips. Don't try and do anything for anybody else. This is your weekend. And the main goal that you have to do is focus on you and your bride. And so as I'm going through this like journey of life right now, where there's so many weddings that I'm going to, and it seems like so tiresome, I don't know what the right word is, but it seems so like draining and exhausting from a logistic standpoint. Not that it's like, oh my God, I have to go to this wedding. It's another element of how am I going to get here? Where am I going to stay? What am I going to do? How am I going to eat? How am I going to train? How am I going to stay focused on my goals? It all starts with the morning routine. It all starts with the habits that we have in place. And so take time to think about how you can be a little bit more selfish in life, not in a bad way, because everybody thinks if you're selfish, it's this bad thing. No, what you're doing is aligning your priorities with what's important to you in life. And so even though there's so many weddings and all these things going on, there's so many great things within those. I get to see family. I get to see friends. I get to watch these people that are closest to me take that next step and chapter into their life. I get to see them blossom into this next area that they're going to just grow and thrive in. And so in order to grow and thrive and make sure that these different life milestones that are happening go well, we have to focus on ourselves. We have to make sure that we're good before we can show up for anything or anyone else. And so all of this stuff correlates and it all conjuncts into one thing where we can then keep pushing forward, where we can stay motivated, where we can stay disciplined no matter what life throws at us. And so life's throwing a lot of stuff at me right now with work, personal, business, all these different things, events, everything, where it's like, all right, let's take a step back. What's important? What can we structure? What can we focus on? And then what can we check off daily to make sure that when we're going through these things, everything stays intact, everything stays in motion, and I don't lose traction on the things that I want to. Mental health, physical health, my career, my business. I was going to call it my side business, but why would I not give it the same respect that it deserves? It's my business. It's mine and Dylan's business. We're growing this thing and we're working on stuff. And it's just like, I have to make sure that we continue to push the needle forward, just like I want you guys to keep pushing the needle forward in your life. And if you're not taking the time right now to wake up in the morning, ground yourself before the chaos comes, you'll always be stumbling over yourself, because your to-do list that I get made fun of for having is going to keep getting longer and longer and longer. And then you're going to look back and be like, I said this year I was going to save more money. I said this year I was going to pay off more debt. I said this year I was going to get a girlfriend. I said this year I was going to move. And all those things aren't happening. But that's because you're not prioritizing yourself outside of everything that life's thrown at you. So sometimes saying no and sometimes saying I can't isn't a bad thing, and it doesn't make you a bad person, because you're prioritizing what's important to you and what you want to show for in life and what you want to go after. And so the main message here is just try and take some time in the morning. Mine is a bag of coffee that I keep showing as if I am sponsored by this person or this thing, or if it's even going to be good. This could be shit and I could throw it away. But what it does is it's going towards my morning routine, which I think is so important, and it's going to hopefully help me stay energized, focused into the day to be able to check things off before I get back on the road and start traveling for personal things, for work things. But yeah, it's really, it's a matter-of-fact situation. If there's things in your life that you want to change or that you want to see progress in, step back and ask yourself why you're not seeing those or why it's not happening as fast as you want it to. There's typically avenues, just like when people say, I don't have time. It's like, okay, well, let's look at these different avenues. Why don't you have time? If this is important to you and this is what you want, why don't you have time for it, but you have time for all these other things? And so that's the main message, is like control what you can control within the limits. Paint the big picture, step back, look at it, and be like, you know what? This is how I have to approach it. This is how I have to tackle it. And this is how I have to see it going forward in order to enhance and induce the progress, success, and traction that I see within it. If we don't see that progress, success, and traction within something, it's probably because we're not giving it the attention it deserves. We're giving our attention and our well-being somewhere else instead of on that stuff. But when you start checking the boxes daily and you start doing these little habits and you start doing these things that build momentum and build something forward, it becomes a lot faster and it becomes a lot easier. Questions start getting answered, things start getting laid out, the vision gets clearer, the mindset gets clearer, you're able to imagine more, but we don't take enough time with ourselves in order to make that happen. So this week, this weekend, whenever you're listening to this, take time to be with yourself, to figure out what you have to do to make these dreams, these aspirations happen, and realize that they're not all going to be big. They're not all going to be grand, but they all need attention. And if you're not doing something challenging, if you're not doing something hard, then you're probably not pushing the limits to be able to think differently, act differently, do differently. And so get out there, put yourself out there, and just go after whatever it is that you're going after in life or want to go after in life. Make your dreams a reality. Don't blame anybody but yourself, because the second we start making excuses is the second that's not going to happen and things aren't going to come true. So go out there, kill it, keep doing it, have the desire to inspire, and go after your dreams. We have one life, people. Make the most of it. Be selfish with who you are and what you want, and die on that sword, because it's your life and nobody else's. Shout out to everybody who's going after stuff. Shout out to everybody who's not going after stuff. Something's going to click and you're going to continue to move forward and life is going to blossom into what you want, but it could take months. It could take years. Just stick to the plan and watch how things prosper in life for you. That's all I got. Have the desire to inspire. We'll talk soon. Peace out.